I stand with Palestine, and this is the reasons why. I stand with Palestine, and this is the reason why. You're treating black people the same way you're treating Palestinians over in Gaza, Lebanon, all right? Being black in America for 400 years, and you still killing us. Lynching. Y'all ain't passed the George Floyd bill, but you want to send aid to Israel. You got storms here in America, and you send aid to Israel and Ukraine. You got money for wars, but not money for the poor. So I made a documentary about it. A whole story about it. Call it Potty Training Politicians. Get shorty. And you got more shorty than you can stand. It's leaders of a beautiful struggle. All right? And right here, Dwayne G. Davis. That's me, okay? And that's Judge Boris. See the date? 2007. All right? 2007. And it clearly states here. That's Sheriff Fisher, North Chicago Police Department, Larry Lesser, Bobby Thompson. We talking about being black in America. Racism don't work without black cooperation. Racism don't work for without black cooperation. And we talking about the money that you make off of black bodies. You feel me? Clack clack ain't nothing but Allen Keys with a skirt. Because the Republicans need a black body for a black vote. So that's clack clack. Did you use a toilet today? Because you're going to think about me tomorrow. Called Potty Training Politicians. That's Governor Westmore. Ex-felons got a right to vote. Not only a right to vote, but I made a movie about it. That's Arson Promotions. Baltimore, New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia. That's David Smith and it's certified. Show you the role that the media plays in misinformation. Eric Barron from the Department of Justice. You got this information. You got to act on it. That's Governor Larry Hogan. If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can Hogan. You feel me? If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can Hogan. That's Senator Bill Ferguson. This is the city paper. That's the city paper. City paper comedy issue. Art and activism, the art of protest. That's President Trump, the Joker in town. And that's Kwesi Mfume. He asked for a federal investigation into my illegal incarceration. That's me right here. I went home on vacation, came back on probation. Then y'all locked me up in Maryland. I've been charged with terrorism 3 times in 2 states. I ain't never got a trial. And these are the cases. All right? And the state attorney got this on February the 2nd, 2011, long before I got locked up. That's Exhibit 4. In regards to your documentary. Like I said, if Blagojevich can go to jail, and Trump can get charged for 39 felonies, then you need to be looking over your shoulder because you got evidence and knowledge of corruption in the courts. Ex-felons got a right to vote. Ban the ballot. Yeah, expand the ballot, expand the vote. So everything that you got, Governor Westmore, you need to turn over to the people. The money that you make off of the prison industry, you part of that. Governor O'Malley's mom machine. That's Jones. That's Raskin. That's Steny Hoyer and Alsobrooks. It's going to be Alsobrooks with an ask. We asking you to pass the George Floyd bill. We asking you to repeal Dred Scott. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? We got a lot of asks for you. So President Trump, you too. You sitting in the seat. President Trump, President Biden, President Barack Obama, President Bush got letters to my presidents. Letters to Zion. Letters to my president. Because letters is all we had. We didn't have internet. We didn't have internet access. So now we're doing this. Taking a walk for justice. All right? That's David Trone. If you go to David Trone, get all my information from David Trone. Because I'm Shorty's Barbecue. Brooke Learman, I need a federal and state audit. From 2008 to now, I'm out $250 million in intellectual property. Plus wages, pain and suffering. So David Trone, give him all that information before you go home. Because Alsobrooks is going to be running for that seat. Democrats and Republicans is eating us up. Let's open up the door to justice. That's Governor Westmore. Ex-felons got a right to vote. You're talking about the 13th Amendment and the money you make off black bodies. You feel me? We're going to flush careers. We're going to flush careers. That's the 13th Amendment. That's the Rue. That's Valario. That's Steny Hoyer. That's WJZ. That's leaders of a beautiful struggle. That's Senator Biden. Senator Biden signed off on that crime bill. No, President Biden. President Biden signed off on that crime bill in 1986, the 86 crime bill. I was part of the 86 crime bill, N62528. I'm a whistleblower in the courts and the corruption in your courts. That's my lawyer, Mr. Bailey. That's cutting up meat, and that's a hard look. That's the physical I took before I went home. And that's the Sundance Film Festival. We talking about mass incarceration. That's Governor Westmore and President Obama. Please allow 30 to 60 days for, all right? And I never got an investigation, but we voted. Ex-felons got a right to vote. That's Martin Luther King. I applied for his job. That's the Center for Nonviolent and Social Change. That's me. I'm an activist. And I use toilets for my activism. Ask Ray Lewis. Ask Alsobrooks. That's Maryland's prison industry. All right. Social media for social change. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right. Then we're going to play the tapes. And we're going to talk about the cover-up crew and what you've been covering up. That's the 113th Senate. And like I said, if Blagojevich can go to jail, so can Governor Hogan. Governor Hogan had me taken off the ballot. Governor Hogan had my property stolen. Governor Hogan been using his position of power to protect the corruption. Yeah, like I said, racism don't work without black cooperation. That's Boyd Rutherford. You go to the Board of Elections from 2014, check my paperwork. Go to the Board of Elections 2022, check my paperwork. Taxation without representation is a denial of my constitutional rights. So Governor Westmore, what you gonna do? Exoneration of the Supreme Court. And you need to release all this material before the election day. Because I told y'all about monopoly, the money you make off the prison industry, mass incarceration. We traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and our black community is the cash crop. Black votes matter, so do black voices. And you're a black voice. Are you going to speak up for us? It's you and me, kid. Everything you got to turn over to the people so the voters can see this. Yeah. Taxation without representation is denial of my rights. You're my representative. You represent us. You don't represent the corporations. Do your job or lose your job. If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can you. You got evidence and knowledge of corruption. People over the party. Remember that. The people over the party. Alsobrooks with an ass. Passed the George Floyd bill. Passed the George Floyd bill. In aid to Israel. Stop the genocide in Gaza. I stand in Palestine. Can you see why?